What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well today. Before we get started, I just want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. I would greatly appreciate it. And also drop a like on this video if you do enjoy it. It makes a big difference in helping this channel grow. So yeah, again, I would greatly appreciate it. But today I want to talk about the Lakers because, they are always in the news because they're the Lakers, but they've been doing some really interesting stuff in this offseason. A lot has changed. This team looks very different than it did last year. And for a good reason. They underperformed given they were wrecked with injuries to LeBron and AD. They underperformed in the playoffs. And also the team around them was just not good enough. And they needed to clean house, and they did, And man, they made a lot of moves. I already talked about the Russell Westbrook thing last week and what it meant, but so much more has happened after that too. Off the top of my head, they got Carmelo Anthony, they got Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, they got Dwight Howard, they extended THT. This team looks very different than it did before. And honestly, for a good reason, and a lot of people are saying this, and I kind of agree with them, they're the winners. Not the winners, but they are one of the winners of this trade deadline simply because of just how much they changed and how much of a positive impact they made. Oh, I completely forgot. They also signed Malik Monk on a veteran minimum. I'll talk about that later. But, the Lakers made a lot of changes. And in my view, and I'll explain why in this video, but in my view, they're the favorites to win this championship next year. They're the favorites. I would have thought Brooklyn before, but with just how much of a change they made in their roster and the way that I could picture it all working out, I don't see anyone beating the Lakers, especially in the West. They're the clear favorites in the Western Conference. Obviously given that there are no injuries and no COVID situations. But yeah, the Lakers are the favorites. Which one do I want to talk about first? There's a lot. Carmelo Anthony, which I am really happy with because is he what he was 10 years ago? No. But can he still give you buckets off the bench? Yes. He showed it, in his 2 years in Portland that he can give you a bucket when you need to. So even if he's an off the bench guy or even if he is starting, I like where he is. I think that, he can still be a very important part of this team. And I'm happy that Carmelo is going to be competing for a championship. I really want him to win one just because he's gone through so much in his career. He's been great in his career. He's a Hall of Famer in my book. And, I really want to see him win one. I just think it would be awesome to see it. Same thing with Westbrook too. But yeah, I think he can provide some scoring off the bench. He's a good wing guy. I could see him being, the small forward in the lineup. The way that this roster is set up, I could see, I don't know how I would picture it. It's so interesting. You could see potentially a starting lineup with Westbrook, Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis at the 5. That would be scary. That would be a very scary lineup. And the Lakers would be amazing with that lineup, in my opinion. But Carmelo Anthony would be really good to watch. Malik Monk, I still cannot believe it. He is 23 years old. He should be making the most money in his career right now. And he signed with the Lakers on a veteran minimum. That's wild to me that a 23-year-old is doing that. But at the same time, hey, if you're willing to take that kind of pay cut and you're almost guaranteed a chance at a title, some people value that a lot. Some people really value winning that championship more than the money. And for Malik Monk, I guess that's the case. He has been a really good player. He was really good in Charlotte. He's a good shooter, which is probably his biggest strength. He can shoot the ball. He's also a decent defender on the wing, so that's not a bad thing either. He can give you a good spark either off the bench or starting. So, I think that's the biggest thing that they needed with the Lakers. They needed guys who can hit shots, and they got some buckets. Melo was an example. Malik Monk is an example. They also got Wayne Ellington, who played with the Lakers before. I don't remember when, but I guess he did. And I'm sure he's not going to be he's not going to be a huge factor, but he can make some shots for you, which is obviously not going to be a bad thing. Obviously, you need that with LeBron on your team. You need to have guys who can shoot, because if you saw, last year was an example. Nobody could hit shots. Kuzma, Schroeder, nobody could hit shots for that Lakers team. So for them to be able to just get a bunch of guys who can shoot, on the team is going to be so big for them. Trevor Ariza is back with the Lakers. I remember he played with Kobe during those championships, so that's cool to see him back with the Lakers. He's not what he used to be, obviously. He's older now, but, he can still give you some defense. He can still hit some shots for you, like Wayne Ellington. So he can still do his thing, I don't see a bad thing with him. Like, the wing depth on this team is really impressive. And that's probably what's going to make this team so much better than the others. Simply, like, the depth that they have, like, on the bench. Like, that's going to be the part that's going to be really scary for this Lakers team and why I have them as the favorites. They also got Dwight Howard, which, I don't think... I really want to know, is this the only time a player went back to a team 3 times? Because, he joined the Lakers, I remember it was like 2012 with Nash and Kobe. That obviously failed. And then he came back in 2019, and then he won a championship with them in the bubble. Then he left, and he was in Philly last season, and now he's back again with the Lakers. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's so weird. But hey, Dwight Howard is honestly, like, if you look at his resume, he's a Hall of Famer, especially with that championship that they won in 2020. And it's good to see him back because he can actually do a really good job with this team. He can do so much more, and you could tell that his presence was kind of missed, him and McGee, to be honest. But, having Gasol and then also having Dwight off your bench provides some actual interior defense when Anthony Davis can't do it all. I think that's a good thing. So Dwight Howard can do that for you, catch lobs, play some really good defense because he can still do that even at this point in his career. This is such a fascinating team, man. I'm probably, like, off the top of my head forgetting other things they've done. Oh, yeah, they got Kendrick Nunn, which, hey, that's not bad either. Kendrick Nunn is not what he, there was a lot of excitement about Kendrick Nunn, and I'm sure he can still provide for you a little bit. But the guard depth is actually not bad either because, again, they have Westbrook, they have THT, who they really value, which I don't get, but I can also understand at the same time. It's weird. But THT is very important to them, which is interesting with this team because they want to win now, obviously. Their window is, very, specific. They have a very specific window that they want to win in while they still have LeBron for however many years they have. And, THT is what, 20, 21? Right? And all these other guys are like in their 30s, early, mid-30s. Like, this is a very fascinating team. But, hey, good for THT. If he's going to stay there, get paid, and, compete for a title, that's a dream right there, especially for a 20-year-old guy, But this team is so fascinating, and I really, really honestly hope this works. Like, I'm not a Lakers fan, and I have some, like, slight beef towards LeBron only because of all the things he did to the Bulls all those years ago, but I'm really excited to see what this team can do. The biggest thing, obviously, is going to be, is everyone healthy? Is AD going to come back healthy? Is he going to be better than he was last year? Because even before the injury, he just did not look good. Like, that was just the truth. Like, he was nowhere near the level he was in the bubble. Because in the bubble, he was a beast. Like, he dominated. And then the next season came around, and then he just was not that guy. And then he obviously got injured again and again. So, if he can stay healthy and be someone that can, provide for them the way he does because he's an all-star, he's a superstar, that's obviously great. I think they should put him at the 5, to be honest, because that's where he is best. But then I know he does not like to do that, but it might be the move for them if they want to win games and actually, be competitive. But that's going to be so interesting. Obviously, LeBron, I think he'll be okay. All those questions about, is LeBron going to be this, is LeBron going to be that, and all the legacy crap, and is he even the best player in the NBA right now? All that stuff's not going to matter because, they want to win a championship, and we'll see if they can. But I'm excited to watch this Lakers team. I really hope this works out because I think if they do, they're going to be a really fun team to watch. Like Westbrook, LeBron, AD, Carmelo Anthony, like, I get it, right? And we've seen all the old memes, right, about how old they are, the AARP sponsors. I get that, and it's also funny, too, so I don't even get mad at the memes. But at the same time, like, these guys can still contribute at a good level, even these older guys. So I don't think it's easy to just brush them off because of their age. But then I also don't want people to overrate how good they are because it's like, yeah, it's not 2010, right? Westbrook's not what he was. Melo's not what he was. Same thing with LeBron and AD, to be honest. But they're still going to be a really good team, and they're going to be the favorites to win the championship to me, even over Brooklyn, in my opinion. But yeah, that's basically it. This Lakers team is going to be fun to watch. Let's just hope that everyone stays healthy and that also, all those spacing issues get figured out and they can actually work together because, like I said, they'll be fun to watch. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you think about this Lakers team. What do you think about the moves they've made? And do you think they're the favorites to win the championship right now? Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. And that's basically it. Thank you guys as always for your continued support. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.